Hi, everybody. I'm back with another story. This one's actually a request from some of my former students. And so, Bailey and Jennifer and Carly, this is for you. This is actually one of my all-time favorite books. It's called Interrupting Chicken. And it's written and illustrated by David Ezra Stein. You can see his name there. And you also might even notice that it has this special uh, sticker on the front of the cover, and that actually says that it's a Caldecott honor book. And that's a book that's been recognized because of its great illustrations. And when you see the inside, I think you'll know why, because it has great illustrations. One of the things that we always do before we read a book is we kind of think about what it might be about. So we look at the title and we look at the pictures on the cover and kind of make some predictions and maybe ask ourselves some questions about what we think. And so as I'm looking at this, the name of this book, Interrupting Chicken. We know what the word interrupting means, right? Sometimes your parents say, don't interrupt, I'm talking. Or we might say, don't intrude while I'm doing something or speaking. So basically that means don't interrupt. I also noticed in the picture that there's dialogue. There's these little speech bubbles between what looks like maybe a parent and a child chicken. I'm assuming chicken because that's what it says in the title, although I don't know that I've seen chickens that look like that. Um, but it does say in the dialogue, the small chicken is saying, "This book's called Interrupting Chicken, right, Papa?" And then he says, "Yes, now please don't interrupt the story." It sounds like to me that maybe Papa is expecting Chicken to interrupt, that maybe that's kind of a bad habit that Chicken has. Maybe Chicken likes to interrupt a lot of times. And so he's already giving a reminder, don't interrupt the story, right? So as we read, we'll be thinking about that kind of stuff. Now, there's one place in the story that my students always love to read along with me. So when we get to that page, I'll tell you what to do. And it's a lot of fun. So, Interrupting Chicken, written and illustrated by David Ezra Stein. It was bedtime for the little red chicken. "Okay, my little chicken," said Papa. "Are you all ready to go to sleep?"
"Yes, Papa, but you forgot something."
"What's that?" asked Papa.
"A bedtime story."
Wonder what story he might tell for Chicken. Do you have a favorite bedtime story that your parents or someone tells you? I can think of some that I used to do when I was little. My mom and dad used to tell me stories like the Three Pigs and the Three Bears, and there was even one, The Princess and the Pea. I really liked that one. I can remember reading some of those stories to my own kids and even my grandkids. So I'm kind of wondering, what do you think the story is going to be? Let's find out. "All right," said Papa, "I'll read one of your favorites. And of course you are not going to interrupt the story tonight, are you?"
"Oh, no, Papa, I'll be good."
He's all ready for bed, got his little bear. Hansel and Gretel. You know that story? That's a good one. Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel were very hungry. Deep in the woods they found a house made of candy. Nibble, 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 they began to eat the house until the old woman who lived there came out and said, "What lovely children! Why don't you come inside?" Well, they were just about to follow her when
Out jumped a little red chicken and she said, "Don't go in, she's a witch." So Hansel and Gretel didn't. The end.
uh-oh, something happened, didn't it? I think Chicken interrupted. Uh-oh, look at Papa's face. Chicken,
Yes, Papa?
you interrupted the story. Try not to get so involved.
I'm sorry, Papa, but she really was a witch.
Well, you're supposed to be relaxing so you can fall asleep.
Let's try another story. I'll be good.
Well, they're going to read another one. Any idea what they might read this time? Let's find out. Little Red Riding Hood. I know that story very well with the big bad wolf, right? Take this basket of goodies to Grandma, said Little Red Riding Hood's mother, but don't stray from the path. The woods are full of danger. Red Riding Hood skipped along through the deep woods. By and by she met a wolf who wished her good morning. She was about to answer him when
Out jumped Little Red Chicken and said, don't talk to strangers. So Little Red Riding Hood didn't. The end.
oh no, she did it again. Chicken interrupted again. Oh, goodness. Oh, look at Papa. He looks so exasperated. Chicken. Yes, Papa? You did it again. You interrupted 2 stories, and you're not even sleepy.
Well, I know, Papa. I'm sorry. But he was a mean old wolf.
Yes, now get back into bed.
Okay, Papa. Let's try one more little story and I'll be good.
I've heard that before, haven't you? I don't know. Oh, this is probably a good one for him. Chicken Little. Chicken Little was hit on the head by an acorn. The sky is falling, she thought. She was about to run off and warn Goosey Lucy, Ducky Lucky, Henny Penny, and everyone on the farm that the sky was falling when
Out jumped a Little White Chicken and she said, don't panic, it was just an acorn. So Chicken Little didn't. The end.
oh no. Again? She just can't help herself. She just keeps interrupting. Chicken.
Yes, Papa?
You did it again.
Oh, Papa, I couldn't let that little chicken get all upset over an acorn. Please read one more story. I promise I'll fall asleep.
But Chicken, said Papa, we are out of stories.
No, Papa, I can't go to sleep without a story.
That's a problem, isn't it? All right then, said Papa, yawning. Why don't you tell me a story?
Me tell a story?
Said the little red chicken.
Okay, Papa. Here we go.
What story she's going to tell? She's going to write a story? I wonder what story you would tell if you got to tell the story. Think about that, and at the end we'll talk about it. Oh, look.
Bedtime for Papa by Chicken.
I love the illustrations, don't you?
Once there was a little red chicken who put her papa to bed. She read him 100 stories. She even gave him warm milk, but nothing worked. He stayed wide awake all.
Uh-oh. This is the page I want you to help me read. Now look at this page. What do you see there? There's just a whole bunch of Z's on the page. What do you think that means? Yeah, I don't think that the author wanted us to go Z, 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 Z. Do you? Oh, I think he's trying to tell us that someone fell asleep. Usually in a story, when you see a bunch of Z's like that, it means somebody's sleeping and snoring. Yeah, so you get to help me read this page. Now, have you noticed how some of the page has really big Z's? That's like a really loud snore. And then there's a whole bunch of Z's, so that would be like a long snore. And if there were little Z's, it'd be like a little short snore, like a little snort. So your chicken's been reading this story and Papa fell asleep. So, and then, I don't know, maybe your snore sounds different than mine.
Papa?
Good night, Papa. Oh, she's tucking him in, isn't she? The end. Now, I love this story, and I think it's a lot of fun to read. And Chicken wrote a pretty good story. She was trying to anyway, and then Papa fell asleep. So if you were going to write this story, what do you think you would write about? Would it be a realistic type of story, or would it be totally fiction, maybe about monsters or animals or outer space and aliens? Or would you write about someone in your family or a vacation that you went on and tell a true type of story, a nonfiction story? What do you think you would write about if you had a chance to write a bedtime story for your family? I have an idea. If you want to, get someone in your family to help you find some paper to write on. and maybe a pencil or a pen, and maybe even some crayons if you have some crayons or markers around the house. And why don't you write a bedtime story? And then tonight or sometime this week, you can take that and read it at bedtime for your own bedtime story with your family. Wouldn't that be fun? Well, I hope you enjoyed Interrupting Chicken as much as I did. It's one of my favorite stories. And I'll see you again in another video.